Located in the heart of the old Harland and Wolff shipyard, Titanic Belfast is the city's flagship Titanic experience and describes itself as the world's most authentic retelling of the iconic story. The self-guided tour extends over 9 interactive galleries where you discover the sights, sounds, smells and stories of the ship, as well as the people and the city that built her. Titanic Belfast is around a 25-minute walk from the city centre, but it's also accessible by numerous bus services. My favourite are the gliders that run approximately every 10 to 15 minutes or so. An average single fare on one of these from the city centre is about £1.70. You can also purchase day tickets, which gives you unlimited access. Translink buses also operates out of the city to the venue. Hop on services 26A, B or C and you'll get there just fine. If you're arriving by car, then do not fret. There are 520 secure underground parking spaces. Charges for these begin at £2 for the first hour and £1 per hour thereafter. Before we take a look inside, let's talk tickets. Now pay attention here because there are several options which could save you a bit of cash, which you're going to need for the gift shop. Trust me. Here is a list of the current prices as of 2023 and all tickets must be booked in advance. Standard admission include the Titanic galleries and access to SS Nomadic. All tickets are timed entry. However, if you are visiting on a budget, then they have several options for you. If you're one of those weirdos like me who don't mind getting up early, then the early riser ticket might just be what you're looking for. It's only available for certain early time slots and at certain times of the year, so my best advice would be to check before you visit. They also have a late admission ticket at a reduced price. It's important to note, however, that the late admission price does not include access to Nomadic and the shipyard ride. The galleries are split over several levels, but the entire building is fully accessible for those of you who have mobility issues, but please do bear in mind there are some restrictions for the shipyard ride in terms of the sort of mobility aids they can accommodate. For those of you who require an essential carer to accompany you, the carer gets in for free. Just select the carer ticket when making your booking. They do offer a wide range of services for those with disabilities, so I would encourage you to visit the website for full details.
Harland and Wolff is the world's greatest shipbuilder, and the White Star Line is the jewel of the Atlantic services. Britannia rules the waves. Before the gentleman retired to talk, his lordship was talking about the largest dry dock in Belfast. Enormous gantries, a dry dock built for a ship that hadn't even been built yet.
The first few galleries focuses on the history of industrial Belfast and how the shipbuilding industry was formed, and then leads on to the development of Harland and Wolff and the design of the Olympic class ships. It then leads on to the shipyard ride, which is a 6-minute sit-down experience. When it's busy, you can expect a wait time of up to 20 minutes to half an hour here, but believe me, you'll be thankful to rest your feet for a wee bit.
401, that's what we called her. We knew she'd be the largest passenger ship in the world, but we didn't call her Titanic then.
100,000 people watched the launch. Some paid a bob to sit in the reserved seating. There were extra trams laid on. Then we all went off to the pub to wish her well.
Ach, you were proud to be an island man that day. And Titanic was the pride of Belfast.
The next few galleries focus on her launch and maiden voyage. Check out this awesome view you can get of her construction slipway, the very spot the ship was built.
By March 1912, Titanic was ready for her maiden voyage. At noon on April 10th, bang on time, the Titanic sounded her whistle and cast off her lines.
At this point there is also a cool animation of the interior of the ship, moving up from her engine rooms to the bridge. There are also a few mock-ups of cabins here. We then move on to the next few galleries which focus on the sinking and the aftermath. This is where I'm kind of a bit disappointed. The sinking gallery animations are a little bit out of date, and whilst it is informative, I feel it could have benefited from their recent renovation work. I don't know, I just feel that there is potential for it to be so much better than what it is here.
Fell down with a crash on the water.
After this gallery we move into the newly refurbished part, which honestly blew my mind away. The last galleries are all about respect, protection and promoting Titanic's legacy in a way of remembrance. The theme of never again resonates throughout, and whilst we must always remember the terrible disaster of the Titanic, we can also celebrate the achievement of man's creation. In this gallery you will find several artefacts, including Wallace Hartley's violin, bandleader who played as the ship sank. The violin is only on loan here, so see it while you have the chance. We then move into what I think is the worst part of the experience. When you leave, you have the opportunity to stand on a mock Titanic's bow and do the cheesy, iconic pose thing, which I think is just terrible. Yes, okay, I understand that it is now part of Titanic history, but it's just so cringe. Here you have the last few galleries that are really moving and emotional. That is what guests should be left feeling. Instead, on your way out, you're whacked with a great giant slice of cheese on you. I wouldn't mind if it was at the beginning, because by the end I would have forgotten about it. I don't know, perhaps it's just me. So when you're done with the galleries, or like me, before even, there is a gift shop that sells an array of merchandise from your cheesy souvenirs to your more serious stuff for collectors. Just a warning though, it can turn out to be pretty expensive. Believe me, I speak from experience. If by this point you are rather famished, then there are a few options within the venue itself. The Galley Cafe, the Pantry and Hickson's Point are all outlets where you can grab something to eat, from a slice of cake and a cup of tea to something a little more substantial. However, be prepared, it's pretty costly, and during peak seasons you're going to have a bit of a wait. My advice would be to pop over to the Spa shop, about 5 to 10 minute walk away. If it's a nice day, buy yourself a few sandwiches and have a picnic. They also have a hot food counter which is just delish. If it's pouring with rain, which is most likely, they have a small seating area inside. Eating here will save you a fair few bob. Once you're done with lunch, step aboard the SS Nomadic, the last remaining White Star ship in existence. Your ticket to Titanic Belfast also includes admission to this little gem. I've covered the Nomadic in a separate video for my Beyond the Titanic series, so if you're interested in her history, take a look. There are a few extras I want to just touch on before I wrap this up. Some of you may have heard about the full-scale recreation of the Grand Staircase at Titanic Belfast. Yes, it does exist, and no, I have yet to see it for myself because sadly it does not form part of the tour and is only accessible on a few occasions. One way to see it is to get married there. Yes, that's right, they do weddings. However, as much of a fan I am, my budget doesn't quite stretch that far. Believe me when I say it will set you back. They do hold afternoon tea on several Sundays in the room of the Grand Staircase throughout the summer. You just have to be lucky enough to be in Belfast on one of those said Sundays. They also run what's called the Discovery Tour. It's a guided tour that will take you around the building and onto the slipways, where you will learn more about how the ship was designed and built and how she ultimately met her fate. For the more serious Titanic buffs, this is definitely a must, but of course it will come at an extra cost on your ticket. So overall, Titanic Belfast is a great day out for all the family, and I give it an 8 out of 10. A few things, in my opinion, do let it down slightly. The lack of access to the Grand Staircase, the sinking animations being a little bit out of date in the sinking gallery, and the pure cheesiness of the bow section. But other than that, I love it. If I was to give you one piece of advice though, it would be to buy those early tickets and get there early. It will save you money and it will be quieter. I visited both during the low season and I thought it was busy even then, but during the height of summer it can get uncomfortably busy. So I hope you found this review helpful, and I hope you have a great time on your next visit to Titanic Belfast. Thanks for watching.